name's Ann Carter, and I'm 91 years old, and I was born and raised in the city of Los Angeles. There aren't many of us around. Everybody that I meet is usually out of state and has come here because their children are here. And so I've really thoroughly enjoyed it living in Southern California. I was married for 65 years. He passed away 5 months ago, and we raised 3 children and 7 grandchildren, and now we have 10 great-grandchildren. So we have thoroughly enjoyed all our children. Oh, that was so funny. We had just moved into a new house, and there was a house next door, and it had a balcony, and there were 2 boys standing there, and my brother and I had taken the stuff down to the incinerator to burn, and I looked up and I saw him. I told my brother, see that blonde kid out there? I'm gonna marry him. He says, you're crazy, you don't know a thing about him. Well, you know, I didn't see him for about, 3 months, and later, the kids wanted to go grunion hunting. Well, my sisters said, if those kids are all going grunion hunting, you gotta be as a chaperone. Well, guess who drove the car? My husband drove the car. And so we took them grunion hunting, and it was about 11 o'clock. And on the way back, he says, sit next to me. I said, oh, okay. And so then the kids all piled in the back, and we came home. And then I didn't see him again for about, a month or 2. And he was walking. I said, where's your car? He says, I ran into a vegetable truck. Because he worked split shift with Carnation Milk Company, and he says, I must have fallen asleep and ran into this truck. And he says, but can you help me, take me to my car so I can go and get it repaired? And I said, sure, I'll take you. And so that was more or less our beginning of our dating. I had to pick him up, take him to work, and then, or he would bring me to work and take my car, and then when he got off work, he would come and pick me up and bring me home. And one night, he says, can I take you up to Mulholland Drive? And I said, oh yeah, mm-hmm. So I says, well, okay. So we went up, and he says, you know, I have a horrible migraine headache. And he says, can I put my head in your lap? And I said, sure. And I rubbed his forehead, and I thought, oh God, I love this man. I says, I'd do anything for him. It's just something about him that I just knew, and that I had to spend the rest of my life with him. I don't remember now whether he was talking to one of my brother-in-laws or my brother, and he said to him, you know what, that's the best thing in the world I ever did, was to marry your sister. And I was just so proud of him, and it felt so good, because he was not very affectionate, or never showed it. And the kids made a comment about that. It says, Dad never puts his arm around you or hugs you or anything. I said, no, he's very private about that, and always has. And I don't think he was around that environment. So it was all new to him, but he did warm up. I would take spells, and I would work for a while, and then one day this lady came by, and she says, I babysit for this other lady, but she says could probably use somebody. And she was from Missouri, and she was here with her son, and she was babysitting just to keep out of his hair, and it gave her something to do. And she was so sweet. She fell in love with my kids. She had dinner ready for me when I came home. She baked, and she was so wonderful. We had her for so many years, and then finally she said her husband was not doing well, and she was not going to be able to come out to California again. And we just all cried. She was such a beautiful lady. But Mrs. Milky was a godsend for many years, that I could work and help ourselves along the way. I think when my mother passed away, it was so hard, because she was such a beautiful woman who did so much, and she knew no stranger, and she instilled that in me to give me the strength to be a better person, that there's always love for everybody. You don't have to criticize and complain about anybody, and if you don't like them, you don't have to show it. You can be nice, you can be polite, and it instilled me, and I thought when she passed away that she would want me to be just like she taught me and trained me to be. It's kind of hard to answer that question, because you just want to be the best you can and hope and pray that you teach your children and your grandchildren that they have to be that way. That life is too short. You have to give them that strength and that credit. Something about Disneyland is so magical. I don't know what it is, but the minute you walk in there, you don't see anything else. The outside world is not there. It's just, you feel like you're in your own little private little world. Even just walking down Main Street and bumping into people and looking at them, and they all have this, just this wonderful feeling that you're in La La Land. You don't hear outside noise, you don't hear anything, but you're just there, and it just makes you feel wonderful. You have that feeling that it's just there for you. And I have lived it over all of these years. I remember years ago, every once around Thanksgiving or Christmas, they would draw 80,000, and they'd say, oh my God, where are we gonna put them all? Now, it's almost a daily occurrence that many people are there. And the prices seem to phase them, and I think that's their goal. They want to take their kids at least once to Disneyland, see what that is. And you get that family environment, and you just feel like it belongs to you. You know, there's 100,000 people there, but yet it still makes you feel like it's you and part of you. Oh, my hats. Well, when we moved here, I started losing my hair, and it was because of medication. I didn't realize that, the doctor put me on a thyroid medication, and I was losing my hair because I had a mop of hair. And I kept losing it, and I thought, geez. I'd go over to CVS, and they had this beautiful rack of all these different colored hats. So I would pick out a green one this week, and then I'd go back next week and I say a yellow one. I picked a yellow one, and then I picked a blue one. And my husband says, how many hats are you gonna get? And I says, well, for my wardrobe, I want one for every color. And they were so inexpensive, and I thought, oh, it's fun. And so my grandson just went in the service. He was through basic training, and he saw this hat. He says, oh, I gotta get that for Grandma. She's gotta have her hat. And so anyway, I wear my hats Monday through Saturday, and on Sunday morning, I put on my wig. And it was so funny. A couple of months ago, a lady came by, and she says, you know what? You look so familiar. Do you have a sister here that wears all these pretty hats? I says, no. I says, this is my Sunday hat and my wig. Oh, she says, yeah, I could have sworn you had a twin. I said, no, but it just, I just always loved my hair, and then not to have it, I think all I've got left is these little fly wings and back, because I had natural curly hair, and it's kind of hard to lose it all. I love my family, and that I always tried to be the best that I could be and help anybody that needs to, because I'm a very nurturing person and I love to help people. And sometimes I don't always want your help, but I try and make a point to be helpful. And if I see somebody in distress or has a problem, I like to try and help them. And that's my goal.